what's up? A few things have changed since the last update. Namely, well, first being I'm using now slave drivers. And the main reason for them is I'm running higher tier maps and I'm doing betrayals, I'm doing Einhars, I'm doing, you know, all that kind of stuff, like legions and everything. I just wanted more single target damage to kill all of the fatty reapy rares fast, and well, I don't have unending hunger, so solar guards, while they kill stuff, don't kill them so fast that I don't really have to worry too much about it. So yeah, I'm now, oh yeah, and I have a 21/20 Spectre gem, which is nice, and my links are Feeding Frenzy. You don't necessarily need this, but I've noticed it helps a lot with, especially in Blights, that my drivers are like, they're basically going like off stream. They're like going like stream all the way like to the edges of my monitor, and like they just like, I don't even see them on my screen and they're just killing stuff. So the Feeding Frenzy is really nice for that. But I could have it on the zombies and then use Elemental Army on the slave drivers themselves. They would probably survive a bit more. I've actually had them die a few times on Blights. Pretty sure it's from elemental damage, and I think this would help a lot. But they are capped elemental resist already, but you know, having a bit extra wouldn't help. I mean, it wouldn't hurt too much. Then obviously Spell Echo, I'm using minion damage. Deathmark would be better for single target, like just pure damage, but I don't deathmark stuff that often. Then I'm using Ink AoE, which I just recently flipped. I'm using Ink AoE just because I'm a sucker for Mister of Sacrifice and Flesh Offering. Otherwise, I would be using Blakebringer, and that would give them 30% AoE, and then Ink AoE isn't necessary at all. In terms of skill tree, all I really had to do is get Fearsome Force, and I'm using a Mother of Fire because I'm still using Ball Lightning. I would maybe use Crimson Bolts if I didn't have this weapon, because this is flat lightning damage spells, so I have to use a Mother of Fire. I tried crafting a +1 all skills and then just multimod it. Well, at least it's not too rare. Dude, that threw me off. It was on the bottom line. I was expecting it to be the... And ended up spending like 700 alts or something like that on a low item level profane. I mean, this is the lowest item level profane one you can get. Well, at least the drop. Ideally, I would have actually used the Hetten wand at item level 55, because that is the lowest item level regard for the Magisters, which is the plus all skill gems. And why'd I rather use a wand like this? Well, Hetten wand has 10% cast speed implicit over Convoking ones.
Let me tell you.
That have the, you know, can get minion modifiers, right? Well, I would just multimod it from the +1 all anyways, so the implicit cast speed is better for me, because I'm casting spells, I'm using Flesh Offering, I'm using Ball Lightning, it helps me cast my skellies faster and all that. And the only time I'd really consider using a Convoking one instead, when crafting, especially if you were to be solo self-found, is if you were to try to get the hybrid mana plus minion damage on top of like a +1 minion, or if you wanted to go for a +1 minion and +1 all, and that's pretty goddamn rare to get, especially because the item level on all of the Convoking ones is generally pretty high, because they only drop in maps. So yeah, and you only need item level 60 for a +1 minion. So basically, if you're crafting a Convoking one and you're trying to do like a +1 minion levels and then multimod, you should have as low item level as possible, if that's the only one you care for. But yeah, I'll eventually hopefully get another weapon, but working fine for now. Other things I had to change is I had a I have a fire damage to minions duel before, and now I had to roll a lightning damage one because I have the golem and zombies with elemental army for using the debuff. Again, I could have feeding frenzy here and then put them in here, or I could give elemental army to my skeletons, which right now are using still minion damage death mark, but I changed the added fire to fish the lightning, which I need to make 20 quality and corrupt it. And then on top of that, we finally found a gold worm. I probably put like 5 or 6 divines on this already, and the highest I had was 17. Most be like 14 to 15, so I kinda gave up on divining it. We'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much changed the character. Nothing has really changed other than, well, the Spectres. And then, oh yeah, I'm using Empower strictly because I don't have a blue socket as the last. As you can see, I have a white socket here. This was a blue socket, so I rolled this for 5 blue and 1 red, because I know I could use those links in case, in the high chance that the white socket doesn't go into the red socket. And coloring sack carb into a 6 blue is surprisingly hard. So I just like, it's fine, I can just use the Empower. It gives them some extra life. It gives them, well, +2 levels, so that's life and that's some base damage, but I don't rather use elemental focus here. But I could also use elemental focus here, but again, because of the you know, wanting to use Myth Sacrifice, I can't really do that because the AoE would be a bit lower. And then I'll just swap for Conk when I'm doing like if I'm going to do like some crazy 70% minion life with Enduring Charges and resistance shit like that on T16s, I'll usually swap for Conk effect to make it a bit faster. Then for my Atlas, as you can see, no longer stronghold here, and that's because Lind and Michi were doing some Uber Elders yesterday, so they just did it for me too for the extra sextant. And on top of that, I am now swapped from T11 layers to T16 layers. So I have a T11 Calder as my only one. I'm still farming it, even though I did end up getting the Linus Fall yesterday. You know, it doesn't hurt to have another. We can corrupt them. Some good stuff. And then, well, comms cards are there. They also drop...
Cool winds.
Oh yeah, we already finished the set, but they also dropped the card for the Calm Sing upgrade. So now my Chuck actually has 1 Calm's Way. And he's like level 84 or something like that. I've been just... Now recently I've been able to finally start doing some delving. Because I've started running T16s. So I'm I should probably hit 83 today. But yeah, as you can see, I still have 28. I had like 35 or something. That's a crazy amount of missions. So that's one of the reasons why I switched to T16. And I'm gonna also try some new influence strats that I haven't really done before. And the only reason I really even thought about this was because somebody asked me on stream how would I go about running excavation, like an elder excavation with influence, and like I was like, well, I really wouldn't do it if you want to like ping pong the influence, because it's a really bad map. Because like, okay, if you were held com point, what would you do to maximize it? And then I just like really started thinking, and I realized that you could actually use the same way as you spawn a stronghold to make sure that whenever you run excavation, it has influence. So what I'm gonna actually do here as well is I'm gonna have this whole area, well, in my case, this area, so that layer is surrounded. So I will probably have influence from Shrine all the way to like Volcano, all the way to like Pit, Temple, to here. So that means I'm probably gonna spawn Elders somewhere around here. I'll probably do the Guardians again. I think we've had like 4 Guardian uniques from just killing the Guardians and not killing Elder. And then I'll run it when it has like Elder Influence. So this whole area is Elder Influence, right? I'll run it out of the influence. Then I'll run another random map. There's because of the master things, or the master missions, there's so many things you can do, like low red tier Juns. I usually run like T11s or T12 Juns, because why would I do T16 betrayals when I can do them on 11s or 12s? They're a lot safer, and the result is pretty much the same. There's only few things where the item level matters, like very high. I think item level 80 is the highest for some of the mods, if I remember correctly. And I can easily make my safe houses 80. T13 Einhar missions. So the level 80 is the highest regard level for Farul to spawn, like the Farul beast. So I'm usually doing like Einhars on T13 and 14s. Well, Sulfine I'm only doing on T16s. I'll do always one. That's a lot of temples, by the way. Obviously, one Alva mission on T16, and the rest doesn't really matter. A lot of Tana missions I can do. So I'll do the influence map, so it goes out. Then I do some random other shit, for example, an Ahar mission. And then, because I have influence, like more than 7 Elder influence maps on my Atlas, Shaper will immediately try to attack it. And that will most of the time result in Lair getting Shaper influence immediately after you do another random map. And then I can run it from Shaper influence back to Elder influence, because it's adjacent to Elder. And then I can run it again back from Elder influence to blank and do some other map. So that way, every time I run the Lair, I will run it with influence. I'm also running Galderas. It's still my only T11, and it's also nicely here, so I can do that. And as long as I make sure that I don't cut some of the corner maps, they will always go blank, and then I can very easily get the influence back. And well, sometimes if this is like Shaper influenced, I'll run it like it's just ping-pongs. It doesn't really matter, but this strat should be extremely useful for maps that are otherwise like impossible to ping-pong, such as Arcade. It's literally impossible to ping-pong Arcade. Because if you have Elder Influence here, well, it's not touching Shaper anywhere. And if you have Elder Influence Cage, you have Shaper Influence Arcade, you run the Arcade, it will go blank. And then if you run it when it has no influence, it cannot gain influence, so you're kind of fucked. So you have to do some other map. So maps such as Excavation, Arid Lake, well, Jungle Valley if you were to do that, Always. Here, there's a bunch of maps that are really awkward for ping-pong. Dunes, Primordial Pool, which you could use this strat. But yeah, the biggest flaw is obvious that you can't just like run that same map back to back to back to back without ever running any other map. But for the most part, at least for me, it's never been an issue. So I'm totally fine on trying this. And again, I can very easily ping-pong and just like respawn a Coral Ruinous Stronghold or something like that, and shouldn't matter too much. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's some teaser of what I might be using on a future build. And yeah, getting shafts. Oh, yo, speaking of the shafts, that reminds me. Recently, we got another +1 Spectre chest, and this is well, it's in a Carnal, which is the second best base I can have. The best would be Astral, because of the all resist, and it's an armor base, so that's nice. But Carnal with the resist is really nice, and this is really easy to color. So, obviously it's not socketed or linked yet, because I'm waiting to get the 28 quality on it with Hillock. So I'll do that, and then we're gonna waste all of my jewelers and fusings on it. And probably I'm gonna run dry, and then I'm gonna steal some from other people in our little private league. And I think eventually I would want to split this, but we can do the split when it's a 6-link, so then we actually get someone a 6-link Carnal from it. And then a multi-mod, so it's like Spectres, 2 life mods. Like you have the normal life and then percentage life and mana, and then like 2 stats like dexterity and resist, for example. That would be the ideal, but we'll see how we'll see what happens with that. I can just craft life on it and be done with it. Dexterity is nice, the int is nice, the lightning resist is exceptionally nice because my weapon has lightning resist, and because I'm running on MF gear, well, my resistances aren't exactly the best, right? I mean, I could get some resist here, but I like the rarity. I'm pretty sure I've found a lot of uniques because of this rarity roll here. But yeah, we'll be trying to get this into a 6-link, so I can actually start using the normal 6-link, and we get a +1 Spectre, so that's just a straight up 25% more damage. So that's nice, and it's a lot of AoE. And the other chest, I'll be 28 quality, is the shaft, so I'll basically just run some cells, some scriptoriums, some core, towers, whatever the map that has. Actually, we're not gonna run towers because of the completion, but any of the maps that drop an offering, then we'll complete this and then get 28 quality on the shafts and on the chest here. Too bad this has 3 suffixes, and I don't think we have the remove a suffix, add a prefix mod like Beastcrafts. And even if we did, I kind of don't want to use it on it because of the future splitting action we might be doing. So we can't add the extra quality from here. I think it goes to like 14% or something like that. No, it goes all the way to 18% we could have. So sadly we can't add that to it. But I think it's fine. But yeah, I think this is pretty much everything I wanted to cover in this video. I guess there's some other loot we've had. We did some of the I have a 5 mod device now. We did some legions. We did a 4-man. No, wait, I think it might have been 5. No, it was a 4-man 4-way legion where only 2 people were doing damage, and we had 2 summoners. That was laggy. Holy shit. And then we did a 4-way in a 2-man party after, and we just like chained bosses back to back to back. And I think we have had a total of, yeah, we have had 2 elegant hubris, we have 1 militant faith, and then we had 1 lethal pride, which is being used by Mitch now because he's doing some Uber elders, and he's like a max block. He's like a gold snap vortex trickster, and he playing with a mana guardian, so they have really easy time with that. But yeah, I think that's all I had for today, and I'll see you guys soon.